Hello everybody, welcome to Jury Central online classes for law exams. So today we will be discussing with you solved previous year question paper of CLAT LLM entrance test of the year 2010. Before starting the session, I would request all of you to kindly like, share and subscribe the channel for more videos. So let us start with our first question. Question number 1. The first session of the Lok Sabha was held in the year of 1952. Option number A. Question number 2. Which one of the following combination is correct? The correct option is option number C. G.V. Mavalankar was the first speaker of the Lok Sabha. Question number 3. Indian Constitution was framed by Constituent Assembly. Also, option number C. Question number 4. When a contract provides for a specified sum in case of breach, then it means it prescribes a maximum limit of liability. Question number 5. As per Article 19 Clause 1 Subclause A of the Constitution of India, all citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression. Option number A. Question number 6. As per which provision of the Constitution of India shall it be the duty of every citizen of India to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem? The correct option is option number C. Article 51A. Question number 7. Right to constitutional remedies is given under. So it is given under option number D. Article 32. Question number 8. Swaran Singh Committee recommendations resulted in the formulation of. So it resulted in the formulation of option number D. Fundamental duties. Question number 9. Which is the largest committee in the Indian Parliament? The correct option is option number B. The Estimates Committee. Question number 10. In matters related to amendment of the Constitution, the Rajya Sabha. So the Rajya Sabha actually enjoys equal power with Lok Sabha. Option number A. Question number 11. If a member of parliament remains absent without notice for 60 days, then his seat may be declared vacant. Option number B. Question number 12. The provision of no confidence motion is also called. So it is also called option number C. Censure motion. Question number 13. Which of the following motions cannot be moved in Rajya Sabha? The correct option is option number D. No confidence motion. Question number 14. As per Article 75 Clause 3 of the Constitution of India, the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to. So it shall be collectively responsible to the House of the People. Question number 15. Who is authorized to decide a dispute regarding the disqualification of members of Parliament? The correct option is option number D. President in consultation with the Election Commission. Question number 16. Freedom of speech for members of Parliament has been specifically provided under which article of the Constitution of India? The correct option is option number A. Article 105. Question number 17. Under the Constitution of India, the President. So there is no such provision. Option number C, because he is not eligible for re-election. Is eligible for re-election, is not eligible for re-election. So there is no such provision. That is why option number C is actually selected. Question number 18. A candidate for the office of the President of India must be proposed by. So he must be proposed by at least 100 electors. Option number C. Question number 19. The President of India is elected by. So it is elected by all the elected members of Parliament and the elected members of legislative assemblies of the states, and UTs are also involved. UTs of Delhi and Pondicherry. Question number 20. The Vice President can be removed from his office before expiry of his term by the. So it shall be by the members of the Council of States and agreed by the House of the People. Question number 21. What is the meaning of Lex Loci? So it actually means the law of the land. Option number A. Question number 22. Lord Cornwallis introduced the Cornwallis Code in 1973. What is the true effect of this code? The correct option is option number D. All of the above. So it actually provided that the collector was to collect the revenue. The magisterial powers for the collection of revenue were taken away and the court fees was abolished. Question number 23. The system of double government was declared by the. So it was declared by the Act of 1858. Question number 24. The Indian Constitution has borrowed the idea of the preamble to the Constitution from the. So it borrowed the preamble from the Constitution of the USA. Question number 25. Which one of the following aimed at providing a federal structure for India? The correct option is option number D. Government of India Act 1935. Question number 26. Lex invista non est lex. Which of the following meanings? So it actually means an unjust law is not a law. Option number C. 27. Cicero's conception of natural law is based on the idea that true law is right reason in agreement with nature. Reason is a key element because the law of nature is the basis of all positive law. Option number D. 28. According to Hobbes, peace is the first law of nature because of which of the following? Option number A. Without peace, everyone has a right to everything, including another's life. 29. Which statement is close to characterizing the principal difference between the positions adopted by Hobbes and Locke? The correct option is option number D. They differ in respect of their account of life before the social contract. 30. Hume's attack on natural law is founded on his argument that, so it is founded on this argument that we cannot objectively know what is morally right or wrong. 31. Which of the factors below contributed significantly to the revival of natural law in 20th century? The correct option is option number B, the rise of fascism. 32. On what grounds does John Finnis reject Hume's conception of practical reason? The correct option is option number A, that natural law corresponds to positive law. 33. Which of the following most accurately describes Hart's response to Fuller's argument concerning the invalidity of Nazi law? So the correct option is option number A. The Nazi law in question was validly enacted. 34. Which of the following statements best captures the nature of Fuller's inner morality of law? The correct option is option number B. So it is also known as a morality of aspiration. 35. Which proposition below may be characterized as the most powerful refutation of Lord Debly's argument by Hart? The correct option is option number A. Society has no right to preserve its morals and social cohesion through the criminal law. 36. The United States Supreme Court's decision in Roe vs. Wade is highly controversial because it overlooked the common law relating to abortion. Option number B. 37. Which statement best describes the relationship between law and morality among non-positivist legal theories? The correct option is option number C. The law is inextricably bound up with the morals. 38. Which statement below is the least consistent with the argument that judges in an unjust legal system ought to resign? So the correct option is option number D. Since they also prop up the unjust system, lawyers should also resign. 39. As per Hofield's scheme of jural relations, one of the following are not jural correlatives. The correct option is option number B. Privilege, no right. Question number 14. The will theory of rights maintain that enforcement of vice treaty requires exercise of will by X. It assumes that correlativity of rights and duties. Which of the following succeeds in formulating the interest theory about this correlativity? The correct option is option number B. Accepting that conferring right means that the interest represented by that right ought to be recognized. 41. Which of the following is the strongest argument against ethical relativism's hostility to human rights? The correct option is option number D. Positivism. 42. Who defined jurisprudence as the knowledge of things divine and human, the science of just and unjust? The correct option is option number B. Ulpian. 43. Which proposition below is the most inconsistent with Mill's statement that any suppression of speech is an assumption of infallibility and that only by the unrestricted circulation of ideas can the truth be discovered? So option number C is actually inconsistent with this proposition given by J.S. Mill, as reasons generally prevail. 44. Which proposition below is the most powerful refutation of Bentham's felicific calculus? The correct option is option number D. Utilitarianism fails to take account of differences in social background. See, in this year question paper, jurisprudence, you would find new questions of jurisprudence like what we have already seen in the already done question paper. So there, this kind of questions are actually different what we have actually seen during the last 7 or 8 years. So this is the reason why I am telling you, kindly go through these questions again and again, as the questions are a bit of technical and also they are different too. So if you want to get it properly in your mind, you have to revise it again and again. So kindly go through this question and answer by yourself. 45. Posner's economic analysis of law is roundly attacked by Dworkin, who says that the theory has not achieved the beginning of a beginning. What is the basis of this criticism? The correct option is option number C. It regards wealth as a value, which it is not. 46. Consider the following statement. Truth is not a justification for seditious utterances. Second, truth which does not have some effect of promoting disaffection towards the government is a justification. So here the correct option is both 1 and 2 are not correct. 47. A person can be arrested without warrant. So for securing attendance of accused at trial as a preventive or precautionary measure for obtaining the correct name and address, all options are true. That is why the correct option is all of the above. 48. Anything is said to have been done dishonestly if it has been done with intention to cause wrongful loss to any person or wrongful gain to any person. This is the first. First statement is given. Second is cause injury to any person. Which of the choices given above is or are correct? So the correct option is option number 1 only. It has been done with an intention to cause wrongful loss to any person or wrongful gain to any person. So that is why only 1 is correct. 49. Which one of the following statement is correct? The correct option, let us first read what is the statement. The general defenses provided under general exceptions in the Indian Penal Code can be pleaded. So it can be pleaded for IPC offences and offences under local or special law. Option number D. 50. Which of the following are the essential elements to be proved for prosecuting a public servant for criminal misappropriation? So the correct option is option number 1 and 2, custody as well as entrustment. 51. Whether the articles apply to the necessaries as required under Section 68 of the Indian Contract 1872, it is actually a question of law, not a question of fact, or mixed question of law and fact. 52. Y enters into a bet with Z. Y promises that he will pay rupees 50,000 to Z if Australia defeats India in a one-day international being played at Delhi. Z in turn promises to pay rupees 50,000 to Y if India defeats Australia. India defeats Australia and Z, instead of paying the amount to Y, executes a promissory note in favor of Y, promising that he will pay money on or before a specified date. No witness attests the promissory note. The promissory note is not registered. Z fails to pay within the stipulated time. On the basis of the above mentioned facts, which one of the following is the correct answer as per the Indian law? So the correct option is option number C. The promissory note has no validity in the eye of law because it is for debt due on wagering contract. 53. Which one of the following statement is correct with regard to a contract for sale of immovable property? The correct option is option number C. Time would not be regarded as the essence of the contract unless it is shown that the parties intended so. Question number 54. Choose a most appropriate answer to complete the statement. Doctrine of frustration comes into play. So when it comes into place, it comes into place only when the object has failed. 55. Consider the following statements. So, and they are asking that which of the following statements are true. So the correct option would be C, both 1 and 2. In case of a concluded contract and completed transfer, the doctrine of frustration is not applicable when the rights and obligations of the parties arise under the Transfer of Property Act. Second, if and when there is frustration of a contract, the contract automatically comes to end. So both the statements are true. 56. Choose the most appropriate answer to complete the statement. When consent to an agreement is caused by fraud, then in accordance with the Indian Contract Act 1872, option number B, the agreement is a contract voidable from the inception. 57. Where the tender of performance is rejected by the other party. Statement 1. The promisor has to still perform the contract but can claim damages. Second, the promisor is excused from further performance and is entitled to sue the promisee for breach of contract. So here the correct option is option number 2. Performance is rejected by the other party. The promisor is excused from further performance and is entitled to sue the promisee for breach of contract. 58. As per Lord Mansfield, quasi-contractual obligations are based on which of the following theories as explained by him in Moses versus McFarland case. So the correct option is option number D, unjust enrichment. 59. This is the assertion and reserve question. Assertion: if X does work for Y without his request or knowledge, he can sue for the value of his work. Reason: acquiescence can be presumed from silence. And then we have to choose what is the correct statement. So the correct statement is A is false but R is true. X does work for Y without his request or knowledge, he can sue for the value of his work. If this is incorrect. Acquiescence can be presumed from, acquiescence means consent, can be presumed from silence. Yeah, this is also true. 60. Choose the most appropriate answer to complete the statement. An agreement to which the consent of the promise is freely given is not void merely because the consideration is not adequate. 61. Consider the following statements. Two manifestations of willingness to make the same bargain do not constitute a contract. Contractual obligations arise if services are rendered which in fact fulfill the terms of an offer but are performed in ignorance that the offer exists. Which of the following statements given above is or are correct? The correct option is option number 1. Two manifestations of willingness to make the same bargain do not constitute a contract. Yeah, this is totally true. 62. We have to match the case law with the issues that it dealt with. So Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt, the case is related to general offer. McPherson versus Aparna, the case is related to invitation to treat. Banwari Lal versus Sudarshan Dayal, this case is related to intention to create legal relationship. And MC Chakko versus Bank of Travancore, this case is related to privity of contract. These cases are very very important, kindly take a note of that. 63. Consider the following statements. In Bhagwan Das, Govardhan Das, Kedia versus Girdharila, Purushottam Das and company, it was laid down that then they are asking that which of the statement above is or are correct. The correct statement is option number 1 only. Section 4 of the Indian Contract Act doesn't imply the contract is made qua the proposer at one place and qua the acceptor at another place. Okay, this is true. And the communication of acceptance should be from a person who has the authority to accept. No, this has not been held by the court in this case. Information received from an unauthorized person is effective. This is totally wrong. 64. Promissory estoppel is, promissory estoppel is an equitable doctrine. Option number C. 65. Consider the following statements. So here statements are given and you are asked that which of the following statements is or are correct. Misrepresentation is also a certain species of fraud. This is correct. Section 56 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 doesn't leave the matter to be determined according to the intention of the parties. Yes, this is also true. 66. X, a public servant, is authorized by warrant from contract of justice to apprehend Z. W, knowing that fact and also that Y is not Z, willfully represent to X that Y is Z and thereby intentionally cause X to apprehend Y as per Indian Penal Code. How does W abet the apprehension of Y? So he actually abates the apprehension of Y by instigating him to believe that so and so person is Y. 67. Consider the following statements. To constitute abatement it is, so the correct option is 2 only. Not necessary that the act abated must be committed. This is totally true. 68. P instigates Q to cause the death of R. P gives a gun to Q to shoot R. Q shoots at R in the presence of P, causing R's death. So which one of the following statement is correct as per the provisions of the IPC? So both P and Q are liable for the murder of R. 69. What is the basic difference between an offence of abatement by conspiracy and the offence of criminal conspiracy? The correct option is option number A. In case of criminal conspiracy, mere agreement is enough, whereas in case of abatement by conspiracy, an act should have been taken place in pursuance of conspiracy. 70. X and Y go to murder Z. X stood on guard with a spear in hand but didn't hit Z at all. Y killed Z as per IPC. So as per IPC, both X and Y are, they both are liable for murder of Z. All these questions which I am discussing to you have been repeated many a times in all kinds of law exams, be it judiciary, be it LLM exam, or be it some other LLM exam conducted by other universities. 71. 5 persons attempted to take away the wife of one of them from her brother's home. In scuffle with his brother-in-law, the husband shot him dead. So which one of the following statement is correct? So in this question, the correct statement is option number D. All are not liable for murder as they had no common object. 72. What is the basic difference between section 34 and section 149 of IPC? Section 34 creates a principle of joint liability and doesn't create a specific offence, and section 149 creates a specific offence. 73. As per the IPC, illegal signifies, so it signifies option number D, all of the above. Everything which is an offence, option number A. B, everything which is prohibited by law, and option number C, everything which furnishes ground for civil action. 74. As per the IPC, in case of an offence punishable with fine only, imprisonment for non-payment of fine. So imprisonment for non-payment of fine has to be simple, option number B. 75. Section 73 of IPC provides for the maximum limit of solitary confinement to be, so maximum limit of solitary confinement to be 3 months. 76. General exceptions are contained in, so these are generally these are contained in chapter 4 of IPC. 77. That maxim ignorantia juris non excuse, that it means ignorance of law is no excuse. 78. The maxim actus non facit ream nisi mens sit rea. It means that there can be no crime without a guilty mind. 79. Irresistible impulse is a defense. So it is not a defense, neither in India nor in England. Option number D. 18. A hangman who hangs a prisoner pursuant to the order of the court is exempt from criminal liability by virtue of, so he is exempted by virtue of section 78 of IPC. 81. Tort is basically a species of, so it is actually a civil injury or civil wrong. 82. The definition of tort is contained in, so it is contained in option number B, the Limitation Act 1963. 83. Tort is redressable by an action, so it is redressable by an action for unliquidated damages. 84. The principle of privity of contract was held as not applicable in an action for tort in, so the correct option is option number D, Ashby versus White. 85. The principle of ubi jus ibi remedium was recognized in, so it was recognized in option number C, Ashby versus White. The maxim injurious sign damnum is, so it means violation of a legal right without any damage. Option number A. So it is generally enforceable, injurious sign damnum. 87. Under the law of torts, malice means, so it means a willful act done without just cause or excuse known as malice in law. A willful act done with evil motive known as malice in fact, both A and B. So this is a question which has been asked in this year DULLM entrance test, where the question was like, what do you mean by malice? Does it mean malice in law or malice in fact? So I can't remember what were the options, but here the option is C, both A and B. So it is considered as both malice in law and malice in fact. 88. In tort, mistake. So mistake is actually of no defense in tort. 89. An act done as act of state has to be justified on the ground of, it has to be justified on the ground of positive law of the land. Option number A. 19. Public nuisances. So it is actually an offence and it is a civil wrong also, both A and B. 91. Goods displayed in a shop with a price tag is sent. So it is actually an invitation to offer. 92. A promisor can perform. So a promisor can perform the promise himself, the promise through his representative competent to perform. 93. As per the Indian Contract Act 1872, if the time of performance of the contract, if the essence of the contract and the promisor fails to perform the contract by the specified time, then option number C, the contract becomes voidable at the option of the promising. Option number C. 94. The reasonable time for performance of a contract is actually a question of fact. 95. An acceptance on telephone should be, so it should be audible to the offerer, heard by the offerer, and understood by the offerer. Then only acceptance on telephone is complete. So the correct option is D, all of the above. 96. A contract is not frustrated. So contract is not frustrated. Option number A, by commercial impossibility. 97. The Constituent Assembly which framed the Constitution of Independent India was set up under, so it is actually set up under Cabinet Mission Plan. Option number B. 98. The doctrine of impossibility of performance rendering contracts void is based on, so it is actually based on supervening impossibility. Option number C. 99. Surety is a person, so surety is a person who gives a guarantee. 100. A contract cannot be said to be on ground of, so it cannot be said to be void on ground of over consideration or inadequacy of consideration. So this is the end of the slide. I hope you have noticed one thing, that the questions which I have been discussing for the past 7 to 8 days, the questions are somewhere repeated and relevant for this year CLAT LLM Entrance 2020, because all these questions have been asked some of the some or some other year, and these questions are actually very repetitive in nature. So I won't think that this time also you would face any problem, apart from if any latest amendments or any latest case laws are asked, but that's not a big issue. Overall, the level of paper is easy to moderate level, not very high level or say high to moderate level. So I hope that you have understood like whatever I have discussed with you today. If you have any doubt and you want to ask me any question, kindly feel free to comment below. I would surely remove your doubts as soon as possible. So with this note, I am signing off. Have a great day.